I want to welcome everyone. My name is Valerie Temez. I'm the Director of Advancement, and on behalf of our students, our teachers, our staff, we want to thank all of you grandparents and parents and grandfriends who are joining us for TMI's first ever virtual Grandparents and Grandfriends Day. I want to especially welcome grandparents who are new this year. We are so thrilled and excited to have your grandchildren enrolled here at TMI. I'm also a proud TMI parent. I have two children here at TMI. Michaela's in the 6th grade, so she's our newest Panther in the family, and Tristan is in 10th grade, and both are joining the call today with their grandparents, Gloria and Robert Robles. So welcome, Mom and Dad. It's so nice to see you. So I want to tell all of you today that Grandparents' Day here at TMI is one of our most beloved celebrations and traditions. During a normal non-COVID school year, Grandparents' Day would include a number of things. We would begin the morning with a special meet and greet coffee social for grandparents to get to know one another, followed by a special program and band concert and remarks in our All Saints Chapel. And then a special luncheon that happens on campus in our gymnasium for students and their grandparents and grandfriends to enjoy. And we do this traditionally during the month of November because November is a month when we pause and we think about the things that we're grateful for. And we are certainly grateful for family and for community and for grandparents. And so while we were unable to celebrate together this year in person, we did not want Grandparents' Day to go by without taking time, even if it's virtually, to see you, to honor you, and to tell you how much we value your involvement in the lives of our students at TMI. We know how special your grandchildren are. Many of you we see in the carpool line. Many of you are here at all of the after-school athletic events and fine art events and robotic team tournaments and on and on. We see you and the joy that you bring to our children here at TMI. So we thank you for taking time this morning to join us for this special time together. So to get things started, I'd like to introduce TMI's head chaplain, Father Nate Bostaine. Father Nate, this is his 11th school year at TMI. And through our school's daily chapel services, Father Nate leads our community as we pray together, as we think together, as we celebrate together. At this time, Father Nate will open up our program with a special blessing.
Thank you so much, Valerie. One of my great pleasures in my 11 years here is seeing the cross-generational linkage that we have with families, from grandparents to parents to the students here. Sometimes for our senior chapel talks, we will have 3 generations of Panthers. Grandparents who went to TMI, parents that went to TMI, students that went to TMI. And it is my pleasure to see these kids grow up from 6th grade to big 12th graders. And I've been here long enough now that I've seen some of them go off to be really successful at college, graduate college, get that first big job out of college, find the person they fall in love with, get married, and even have kids. Man, it is an incredible place to be, and it's incredible. It is an incredible gift to be able to see people grow up and be part of that. So with that in mind, let us pray. Lord God, we thank you so much for the heritage of growing children here at TMI. We thank you for how they grow and develop from 6th grade through 12th grade. We thank you for how you shape them and mold them intellectually and spiritually and socially and emotionally and ethically. Lord, we pray for all families that are represented by this call, for all grandparents and parents, and for all the students that they care for. We pray that you pour out the abundance of your blessing upon each and every household of the TMI community. Fill them with grace, fill them with love, fill them with wisdom, fill them with strength. Help them to grow into all the fullness that you've made them to be, and help us to encourage one another. Up next is our headmaster, Father Scott Brown.
Good morning again, everybody. Father Scott Brown. I am in my 7th year at TMI, my 4th year as the head of school. I was the chaplain before the TMI upgraded to Father Nate. And so I am honored to be in this role as the head of school. I'm also a TMI parent. So I have a 9th grader and a 12th grader. Hard to believe I have a senior. I'm going to start off before we do a little interactive activity together. I'm going to call on one random person. Stephanie, will you unmute? Let's go with Nana's iPhone. Will you unmute Nana's iPhone? And I'm just going to ask this random grandparent some questions. Nana, introduce yourself and tell us who your favorite son is.
Oh, my favorite son is Scott Kevin Kinney.
Oh,
And,
you're my mom. Oh, hi, Mom. It's so good to see you. Welcome to the call. I just randomly chose you and wanted to see what you were going to say about your children.
That's exciting.
So I wanted to give my mom a
I
shout
love
out.
that son, Scott Kevin Kinney. And they are the best. He is the best, and wouldn't trade him for the world.
Okay, you can mute her now. You can mute her now. That's my mom is amazing. My mom is an example of what grandparents really, the gift that you bring to your grandchildren, and that's the gift of presence. My mom, when I was growing up in my parents' household, my mom always gave me the gift of her presence. She showed up at sporting events and at play productions, and every chance she could show up, she was there. She didn't miss anything. And grandparents, never underestimate the gift of your presence. It means more to your children and to your grandchildren than you ever know. So we're gonna play a little game together. I want you, if you can, if you're driving, you cannot participate. If you're not using your video right now, no problem. This is just an optional game. I want you to go find a picture of you with any of your grandchildren, hopefully the ones at TMI, and show it to the screen. If it's on your phone, you can just show it on the phone. Go find me your favorite picture of you and your grandchildren in your house or on your phone and hold it up. And then Stephanie, we're gonna call on a few people to tell us what picture they have. So I see both Landrys. Let's go with Larry Landry. Larry, tell us what picture you have there and why it's important to you. And feel free, the rest of you grandparents, to take your time finding a picture. So Stephanie, if you'll unmute Larry Jackson Landry.
It's not letting me unmute him, so Mr. Landry.
Can you do it? Oh, there you go. I think
There, I did it.
Okay.
This particular picture was taken actually in July of 2014 in New Braunfels, and it's my daughter's 3 girls and, of course, Brad's 3 children.
Awesome.
This is the occasion of Nyla, one of my daughter's girls, being baptized. And the other picture that I don't have that I sent was a picture last Christmas, there again in New Braunfels with all 6 grandkids.
Awesome.
And unfortunately, that was the last time I got to see them.
Oh, well, prayers that it happens sooner rather than later. Thank you, Larry. Nick Fritz's grandma, that looks like a lot of people in that picture. Can you either unmute yourself or we can unmute you? I want to hear who all those folks are. Miss Nick Fritz grandma, that's a big family picture.
Yes, I have 8 grandchildren. Nicholas, we call him Nicholas, but he has the nickname Nick, and he is right there.
Sweet boy.
Yes.
Great picture. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
So Miss Dudley, Sarah Joyce, that looks like a lot of trouble in those trees. What's going on in those trees? You had it.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Did you mute me on purpose?
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay, well, let's see. Do you see me here? What did I do? I switched the camera.
Yeah.
Here you go. Yeah, Sarah Joy's in the middle, sitting in this tree that her father used to sit in when he was her age. And these are 2 of her 5 cousins that were visiting from Arizona. And whenever the grandkids come visit, they always want to go sit in the tree or climb the tree or something like that. Hopefully we're going to be moving after Christmas. So yeah, they'll make one more trip here, the last sitting on the tree. Sarah Joy is in the middle there. We're very proud of her. She's head cheerleader for her grade, and we're really missing being there with you in person this year. But this is the next best thing. Thank you for letting me share my wonderful, beautiful granddaughter.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We'll do a couple of more because I got all day, and this is the most favorite thing I've done in months. So Betty and Harold Bronner, tell me who you have in that picture. That looks like a nice picture right there. Hold on, I'm gonna unmute. All right, we're working on the unmute.
I think you'll have to unmute yourselves. It's not letting me, it lets me do some people and not everyone, so.
All right, there you go, you're up.
Hi, it's Kyan Jones,
Uh-huh.
and he's been going to TMI quite a long time, and he loves it, and we do too.
Good, Kyan's a good boy. We're honored to have him.
Thank you.
You've got a great school because we see it in Kyan, because he's really smart and good mannered, and he's going to be a great success.
We agree. Thank you for trusting us with him. And I saw Natalie's grandparents have a great picture.
Good morning. Yeah, that's our 4 grandchildren. This was taken last year at Thanksgiving in Tennessee. And that's Natalie, who's at TMI on the far left holding the dog, and then her 2 cousins and her brother.
Great. Awesome. Avery's grandma. She's going to unmute.
Do I have? Okay.
No, you're good. You're perfect.
Okay. We have a picture that Avery took.
Supposed to wait.
You can see?
Put it more towards the, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, there you go. I see that.
So it's Avery, her sister, Maya, and my husband, Jerry, and me.
Awesome.
At Easter, obviously, with the Easter baskets, a couple years ago.
Good. Awesome. Okay, there's about 100 more. So everybody take a chance to look around and see some of the pictures. We're going to have more pictures of you and your grandchildren in a little while. I'm sorry I don't have time to call on all of you as much as I would absolutely love to visit with all of you. We're going to move on with the rest of our program because I've got some more stuff in store for you. So thank you so much for sharing your beautiful families with us. Family is very important to TMI, and you are, I say this every year, and I think it's true every year, which is why I keep saying it every year. I think a grandparent's love is one of the greatest examples of God's love on this planet. You love unconditionally, you love with no strings attached, you spoil, you defend, you are it doesn't matter if I tell this story all the time, my kids could be acting out, and if I discipline them, my mom will come right back on top of me and say, you need to be nicer to them, you need to get off their back, they're perfect, they're innocent, they did nothing wrong. That idea of that unconditional protecting love is godly, and I just thank you for modeling that. The other thing I always tell grandparents is show up. Don't ask for, like, ignore the children, ignore your children who say, nah, we're busy this week, just show up. We want you there, be present, because it's a great gift. I think of my own grandparents often, and I miss them terribly, and they've been gone from my life for a long time, and the love of a grandparent and the presence of a grandparent is a godly love, and I thank you for that. I also want to know if you're willing to do this weekly, because this has been like the joy of my day, and I'm really jazzed by being in your presence. I really wish you were here on campus so we could show you our beautiful campus and our amazing students, but hopefully next year we'll see all of you here on this beautiful place. I'm going to turn it over to Ann Schaefer-Salinas. She's our Associate Head of School. She's going to introduce you to a couple of our amazing students who are going to tell you a little bit more about TMI and about their grandparents. So Ms. Schaefer-Salinas, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. This is really, as Father Scott said, I think this is the best thing we've been able to do in months. So thank you so much. I personally consider myself so lucky to be able to work with all of your amazing grandchildren every day here at TMI. The joy that they bring to our campus in the classroom as well as out of the classroom it permeates this whole place, and it's so fabulous to be around them every day. Academics is really a huge part of what we do here because, well, we're a school, but we do our best to make it a great place to learn, and hearing the stories that you all are sharing and how happy you are to see how TMI is reflecting in your students tells me we're doing a few things right. But I'm going to stop talking because the best people to hear this from is always our students. So to start off, with letting you know a little bit about why TMI is so special and why you grandparents are so important to our community. I want to introduce to all of you one of our current 8th graders, Kate Philbin. Kate joined TMI from St. Luke's Episcopal in 6th grade. She is a 3-sport athlete here at TMI with volleyball, swimming, and track. And she has earned membership to the TMI chapter of our National Junior Honor Society. So without further ado, it is my great pleasure to welcome Kate to our virtual podium this morning.
Hi to my grandparents and friends. My name is Kate Philbin. I'm in 8th grade, and this is my 3rd year at TMI. I would like to tell you a little bit about why I like TMI. All the teachers here care about us and do their best to make us successful. The sports at TMI might be my favorite part. I enjoy being on the court, in the pool, or on the track. I love them all. The best part is you do not have to be athletic. The coaches help you learn and give you the best experience regardless of your ability. I can't even decide on Mondays what I look forward to the most. Probably seeing my friends and learning what our lesson is going to be for this week. Since today is Grandparents' Day, I wanted to say thank you for all you do for us, your grandkids. While I'm speaking, I also wanted to shout out to my grandparents in Tulsa. I hope my grandpa got the computer to work. The best memory with my grandparents was when I was 8 years old and had traveled to Tulsa. This was when I was 8 years old and had traveled to Tulsa. This is one of my favorite memories with my grandparents. I learned how to quilt with my grandma, and my grandpa showed me his workshop and how to carve wood. They also took me ice skating and showed me how to properly sled down a hill on a cardboard box. Who would know that when cardboard gets wet, it rips? But it didn't matter anyway. We had fun. Once again, I wanted to say thank you, grandparents, and hope you have a great day and stay safe.
Excellent job, Kate Philbin. Y'all can give a virtual round of applause to Kate Philbin. Thank you, Kate, for giving us your Wednesday to speak to our grandparents. I know that you made your grandparents proud and you make all of us proud. I'm going to introduce Major Joe Claiborne. He is our Commandant of Cadets. He's going to tell you just a little bit about our Corps of Cadet program, in case you don't know a little bit about it. And then he's going to introduce our upper school speaker for this morning. Major Claiborne.
Hello, grandparents, and welcome to our first big meeting of all of you this year. It's so great to see so many new faces and some familiar faces out there. Again, my name is Major Joe Claiborne. A little history about me is I got to TMI in 2012 as my first job after retiring from the Army. And just like a lot of the stories that you'll hear today, is I do certainly opens and closes doors in our lives. And that big door that opened for me was welcoming me here to TMI. I started my job here at TMI as the assistant commandant, moved up to the deputy, and last December I assumed a role as commandant, a duty and responsibility that I cherish and that I'm really excited about. As you know, the Corps of Cadets is our premier program here at TMI with over 127 years worth of history. And that legacy of teaching leadership skills to our students is one that we still do to this day. We do that through a hands-on leadership program that incorporates all grade levels 6th through 12th. You know what? And that makes us a very unique and special program. The fact that I have seniors and juniors who are leading and mentoring 6th and 7th grade kids is just a wonderful thing to see on a daily basis. Our goal in this program is to mentor and guide these servant leaders to be confident cadet scholar athletes who are prepared to go and leave this school and tackle any of life's challenges that are thrown at them. You know, we like to introduce adversity to our kids because it builds resiliency in them. And we're not talking about an old school military program that just makes them do push-ups every time they're wrong, but we create a safe and secure environment that welcomes failure on a daily basis, but also teaches them how to pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and get back to doing what they do best, which is lead. You know, and today I have the pleasure of introducing one such cadet. Cadet First Lieutenant Leon Tor-Sarkeesian is one of our brightest cadets that we have inside the Corps. I would like to say that tomorrow he will be promoted to the rank of captain, and I'm sure that he is certainly looking forward to tomorrow. And, you know, he's heavily involved in not just the aspects of the Corps. He is a great servant leader who cares deeply about his subordinates. He's second in command of the entire battalion and has one of the highest GPAs in the Corps. I'm extremely proud of this young man, and I have no doubt that when he leaves this place, he is going to grasp the world by his hands, take charge, and do great things. So without further ado, let me introduce Leon Torsarkeesian.
Thank you, Major, and good morning, grandparents. I hope that you've been having a great time here at Virtual Grandparents Day so far. As Major said, my name is Leon Torsarkeesian, and I'm a senior here at TMI. When I was asked to speak today, I was told that I should write about why I love TMI. The first thing that came to mind was to write the typical I love TMI because speech. But I decided that would probably bore both you and myself. So instead, I've decided to tell you a story in order to answer this question. I arrived at TMI in the 9th grade as a completely different person. I was shy, scared, and completely unwilling to do anything that I was uncomfortable with. I was never happy in middle school, and it felt like no matter what I did, my so-called friends would leave me behind and ignore me. In simple terms, I was miserable. Upon arriving at TMI, I was terrified at the prospect of having to make new friends, meet new people, and start my life all over again. I walked in on my first day with absolutely no idea about what to expect. However, within minutes, I realized that I may not need to go through this nightmare after all. Despite knowing virtually nobody and being completely lost, my new classmates did not hesitate to let me into their friend groups, something that I had not had in more than 7 years. I was treated as if I had been attending TMI with them for my whole life. I figured that this may only be the case on the first day, but it wasn't. From that day all the way until today, everyone has always welcomed me into their lives. Because of this, the perpetually unhappy version of myself disappeared, and I turned into my current crazy self. I no longer was afraid of interacting with others. Public speaking was no longer a daunting task that kept me up at night. I started to enjoy doing things rather than simply going through the motions. Before I arrived at TMI, I was afraid to be in charge, to lead, and to put any pressure on myself to succeed. Throughout my time in the Corps, I have turned into someone who actively tries to lead others, whether directly or indirectly. I try to do things that will force me to be at my best, and I went from being the kid hiding in the corner to being second in command for the entire battalion. When I look back at my years at TMI, it's pretty much impossible for me to not see the change that the community has brought upon me. I've transformed into a completely different person because TMI welcomed me so warmly on that first day. I grew as a person because the school always pushed me to do my best, regardless of whether it was in terms of academics, athletics, or leadership. And so when you ask me why I love TMI, I say that I love it because it made me who I am today, because it has transformed me into the best version of myself, and because it has always been there to help me progress. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you being here and giving me these last few minutes to talk to you, and please stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Leon. Thank you, Kate. Leon and Kate represent all of our student body. I mean, they are two students out of 460 plus students who have very similar testimonials about how their impact here at TMI has helped them flourish, not just academically, but personally. So I again want to thank both Leon and Kate on behalf of the teachers and staff and all the grandparents that I know would agree. We're very proud of you and thank you for sharing your stories with us. So grandparents, we know that you have a tremendous impact in the lives of our students. The bond that you have between your grandchildren is very special, and we want you to be a part of their experience and their education here at TMI. So I have the privilege of working in an office called the Advancement Office. Our advancement team, our role is to help advance the mission of our school. And so we have the joy of getting to work with our entire community, from alumni to parents, faculty, staff, grandparents, relatives, and friends of our school, so that we can continue to keep TMI strong. And so as part of our role here on campus is that we want for you to be involved and to be engaged here at TMI. And again, in a non-COVID world, we probably would have so many more opportunities this year that we could offer you to come to campus or volunteer. And we are hopeful that as we look to next year, we'll be able to bring those things back. But in the meantime, we want to keep you connected. We want to keep you informed. not just with TMI community, but with the grandparent and grandfriend community here at TMI. So we've created a new publication called Grand News. This is a monthly newsletter that was created especially with grandparents and grandfriends in mind. And so every month you should have already started to receive it. And if you're not receiving it yet, then please reach out to our advancement office, or let your grandchildren or your sons and daughters know, and they can also get your email address to us and we can send that out. It's an email, a digital newsletter that we send out monthly. And again, it highlights some of the happenings that are going on at TMI, student success, current events, and upcoming events for you to take a look at. I also want to say thank you, because we had sent out a message when we got started with the announcement of our virtual Grandparents' Day, and we had asked for grandparents and parents to send to us photographs of you and your grandchildren that we'd be able to share throughout today on our Facebook page. And we were just so full of joy by the overwhelming response of photographs that we received. And so as you spend your day, we'll be sure to be posting those photos on our Facebook page. In the chat right now, I believe we have the link that is in there. There we go. So Stephanie Gish, our Director of Marketing, she put that up there for you. So you can just take that link and you can look at it throughout the day and you can see some of the great photos that were submitted to us. But at this time, I'm going to give it back to you, Father Scott, who's going to provide our closing remarks.
Great. So in the chat, if you're, again, I can't help you if you're on your phone, but if you're on your computer and you scroll down to the bottom where it says chat, and then the chat box should come up. And in that chat box are two things. There's a link to our Facebook page so you can see the pictures, and there's also the email for advancement. It says advancement@tmi-sa.org. So if you're not getting the grand news or you not getting the information from the advancement office, that's the email that you reach out to and we'll take care of you, okay? advancement@tmi-sa.org. So we're gonna queue up a video for you, which is, as Ms. Temez said, comprised of pictures that you sent. Some of you, Nana Brown, sent 500 pictures, and we simply can't include all 500 of your pictures that you sent in, so we appreciate. We understand that your grandchild is the best child at TMI. We understand that. However, we cannot put all 500 of your pictures. Therefore, we have the Facebook page for you to go visit throughout the day. So we'll be updating. So even if you don't see your picture today, please don't be upset with us. We're going to post those pictures in other places, maybe not 500 of them, but as many as we possibly can. Again, thank you for all you do in your children and grandchildren's lives. If you have the ability to text them, if you have the ability to call them, just reach out to them. Don't wait. Just send them a message. Today, actually, they're not in school right now, or they're not in class right now. So today's a great day for you to just say, hey, I just want you to know that you're awesome. Hey, I just want you to know that I love you. I just want you to know I'm thinking about you. That means so much more to your grandchildren than you may ever know. And I just want to encourage you to keep doing that. So without further ado, thank you, grandparents, for your time today. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for being the greatest example of God's love in your grandchild's life. Here is the video of pictures you sent. I hope you have a blessed Thanksgiving. I hope you get to see your grandchildren in person soon. I was looking at all your pictures and I'm really jealous of the Sanka family and the Temez family, because I noticed in your pictures that you're with your grandparents and grandchildren are together right now. And how cool is that? You're making a lot of us very jealous that we're virtual. So blessings to all of your families during these crazy times. I want you to know how loved you are and how grateful we are for your presence in our community. So with that, Belinda or Stephanie, you can cue up the video, and I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, grandparents. Again, if you didn't see your picture on there, check it out on our Facebook page today. Reach out to the advancement office. We can't wait to welcome you to campus real soon. Grandparents, hug your grandchildren virtually. Send them your love as we send our love to you. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. Blessed Thanksgiving. We love you all. Thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.